Welcome back to the Ask an Artist podcast. This is episode number 3, and our guest today is a Malawian producer based out of Nairobi. This man is not only on his way to the top, having worked with notable Kenyan acts like Vic Maslow-Dol and Sudi Boy, but also an out-of-the-box thinker when it comes to making money in the music industry as a producer. The theme of this conversation is artists, more specifically producers, do not need to follow the starving artist narrative. With all the resources made available or provided by the digital era, there are ways for you to make a comfortable living if you know where to look as a producer. So without further ado, I'll let Major Static introduce himself.
Bro, tell us.
Okay, I don't know why I just kept thinking about that. Yeah, Rascal thing. But yeah, my name is Major Static. I mean, to look at that camera.
You can look at me. You can look
wherever.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, boom. I'm Major Static, as you already know. But I'm sure some of the guys don't know who I am. I'm a music producer, mixing engineer, mastering engineer, sound designer. So you can find me on Instagram, Andrew Moyo1, but I'm mostly active on YouTube, and the YouTube channel name is Static Records. So it's pretty much like a one-stop shop for music production. So if you're a producer, that's your spot to be.
Yeah.
And if you're an artist as well, you can find I post some beats here and there, but it's mostly a place for producers currently right now.
Okay. I'm even glad you went that direction, because you literally went direct into like the first thing I want us to talk about. The fact that you have a YouTube channel right now that's standing at about 38.2k subscribers, bro.
It's a far way you put that.
Yeah. Literally, this needs to be celebrated, because
Thanks,
you've been building this for over a year, more or less, right?
It's been a year and some months,
and some months, right?
Yep.
And we've had these conversations before, but for producers and people that are listening that do not know anything about you, what was the driving force behind this?
The driving force for the YouTube channel?
Yeah, deciding to build your YouTube channel.
Build the YouTube channel. Well, the different factors, right? There's the finance side, so money and trying to get an audience, right? And also just trying to get other people to work with, because I really like YouTube because it's a broad place, right? So it's like a global market. So you work with people from different countries who probably you would have never met, right? But you meet them online, and you never know, maybe you could go to that place, create content as well. And also I was trying to sharpen my skills, because with YouTube you're constantly uploading, you check out, and then in competition with some other guys as well that are in the space.
True.
So you can't be slacking. So it's like a constant wheel of growth. You check out. So yeah, pretty much those are the main factors, and then the other ones, I think those are the main ones though.
It sounds like mostly you're focusing on growth as well, because I've had growth of like an audience and also money. Now, because this podcast is really built around music business and bringing that to the masses, I'd like you to just touch on how YouTube has impacted you since you started financially.
It's definitely impacted my finances in a positive aspect, but it's also let me know that, okay, if you put in the work, right, and you have the right path that you're going on, you definitely make the money, right? And I guess there's certain things that you can do that would probably not impact your journey in a positive way. So instead of maybe taking you a year, it could probably take you like 3 years, right? But it's definitely impacted me in a positive way, like from a place of, I feel like, okay, probably look at it this way. Let's say, for example, you're selling a product, whatever it may be, like a shoe, and then you're just selling it here in Nairobi, right? Of course, there's like a lot of people here in Nairobi, but then the amount of sales would be limited, because probably not a lot of people, can you curse on your show?
Yeah, no problem, go ahead.
Alright, cool. Not many people are like fucking with your shoe, and then for whatever reason people don't like that particular type of shoe, so your market space is really not that big. But then now on YouTube you've got like a higher audience, so it's going everywhere. So you've got a higher chance of selling your product to more people that fuck with your shit.
Than if you just focused on the local.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to hear that, because personally also you actually, we've had this conversation again. It's like me getting even in YouTube right now, just this whole setup I would say is trickle down from you. Our conversations just around YouTube. I've seen you grow your channel and I'm like,
because even look at it this way. Like, let's say we're having this conversation right here, right? And you don't know probably how it's gonna go, and then it reaches someone, let's say maybe where in Colombia or some shit like that, and you don't even know, right?
Yeah.
And then this guy reaches out to you. He's like, hey yo, I really want to be on your podcast. Like, you guys are speaking some real shit and I really fuck with it, you know? And I don't want you to pay anything. I'm going to pay for your trip, your team. Just come through. I want to have a talk with you.
Yeah.
Check out.
It wouldn't have happened if
you were just on some local station. That's why I even feel like nowadays this whole thing about like TV, like this local TV channel, it's kind of phasing out. Even DSTV, I feel like they're kind of like adapting to the situation, but I think it's far way ahead, because I don't even remember the last time I watched DSTV. If I want anything, I just go on YouTube. Literally, like I just boom, like it's right there. So everybody's glued into YouTube to such an extreme extent. I don't know, man.
It's really changed the world. Even like what you're saying, Netflix. Like you don't need to go to DSTV to catch a movie, which is like scheduled. You're like, I want to watch this. You just go on Netflix and get it done, right? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, bro. So I guess what we are doing, we're heading the right direction. Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. Like a lot of people, especially in Africa, I feel like in the other countries, like maybe in the US and these European countries, I feel like they're already hip to it. And I feel like it's just the availability of internet and all that type of stuff as compared to Africa, where internet is either expensive or is hard to come by. It's only countries like, I would say, South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, like the internet is a bit more affordable. But then like where I'm from, because I'm from Malawi, and it's crazy, like to tell someone to watch this podcast, like when it's up, don't think twice about it, because they'll be like, hey shit, I have a bundle, you know?
I could be on WhatsApp, I could be doing
something
different.
Like maybe I have at best like a 500 MB bundle. So by the time they finish watching the podcast, the bundle is over.
They won't even finish it. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I'm telling you, man.
That's similar to Uganda so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to set a scenario, right?
Okay.
So you've been, let's say you've been making beats, you've been mixing and mastering for your homies, your friends, family, you know, but you've decided now, you've seen the potential in yourself, you want to go to the next level, you want to be recognized as a producer.
Yes.
With the knowledge you have right now, what are the steps you're taking to make this dream come true?
Okay. At what level am I as the...
You're just entering the game. Like you've been doing it for a few years, so you know what you're doing.
So I have the equipment and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, you have the skill.
I have the skill.
Yeah, of course you're always growing, but you have the minimum entry.
As a producer.
As a producer,
probably I would be like, just increase your social presence, like grow your Instagram and be active as well. You know, be active on Instagram, Facebook. But in terms of priority, I would prioritize YouTube first, then Instagram, and then Facebook last. So it also depends, like at how hungry I am. You know, if I'm really hungry, I would say you probably upload every day, right? If you're really in it, like set a strategy. If you're a beat maker or just posting your life in the studio, just post that stuff
every day,
because I feel like that's what's going to help you to elevate to the next level. You know, like where you want to be. Because like I'll give an example for like myself, and I feel like even on the journey you probably reach somewhere where you start to realize certain things because you're coming across certain information. And also, if you're on the space like YouTube, you can come across this podcast, and then someone can tell you from a point of they've already gone through the journey, right? So like for me, last year I was posting about 5 times a week, right? Every week, 5 times.
The amount of work.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I decided I was gonna do that for the whole year. It even reached some month I was uploading every day,
7 days a week.
7 days a week. And then I started getting some funny ideas like, probably let me just do twice a day.
14. Bro.
Like
But that's the hunger you're talking about.
Yes, the hunger. Like some days I would get tired, right? I'd get tired. I would not feel motivated. But then that's part of the journey. You know, like I usually explain, we're on the journey and then you're on the road. And then probably like on the road you reach there's a stop for doubt. There's another place where you're getting whipped by people who don't fuck with your shit.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time. You're better
Pulling
off
you down.
Yeah, you're better off doing something. That's part of the journey. Like if you ask anybody that has been on that same path, they will tell you they've been through that. You check out. But then now the only difference is how you respond to it, how you react to that situation. So definitely I was tired, but I was looking at my situation and I was like, yo, my hunger and the fatigue. My hunger is a bit like on the other whatever. Like if you remember, I think I told you there was some night, because I wasn't sleeping much, I started getting a headache, right? But then I was getting a headache, and then I was looking at the laptop, right? And I was meant to upload that day, and then I didn't plan ahead, so I didn't have like content like already created that I could just upload or that I've scheduled. So I knew I had to upload that day because I didn't want to mess up my schedule. And I got a headache, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm still going in. I'm looking at the laptop. One of my eyes, right, they started getting blurry. And I was like, damn, my eyes are blurry. So like I noticed, like when I closed one eye, right, I could see through the other eye. Like it wasn't blurry, like I could see nicely.
That story got me, tripped me out.
And the funny thing is, the headache, right, was kind of reducing
When you close one
like
eye.
when I close one eye.
Yeah, that would be a sniper right now.
Then I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's get it. I
That's
worked. I
wild.
uploaded the content. Then I'm like, I still have some time. Let me start creating content for tomorrow, which I did. And then now it reached some point I was like, hey yo, this is getting too intense. Then I was like, you know, I've already uploaded, let me relax. I lied down for a bit. But then now, if you look at it from a different perspective, like I don't advise someone doing that, you know. I guess you also have to know your body and your limits, the limits you could go. But probably someone else would be like, hey yo, I think I've done enough. You know, this is more than I was expecting to do. And then you just relax. And then the next day, because maybe you're like in a super relaxed state, you'll be like, you know what, I deserve it. And then now it's kind of like a trend that you're going on. But yeah, I think I've like diverse like on another journey.
It's like that's proper, bro. Like I feel like that story is going to impact people. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
So I would definitely advise the YouTube. Then I guess posting on Instagram, because you find people like-minded people. And I guess also just put your contact details out. You'll find people that just fuck with your shit. Just fuck with you as a human being, like your vibe. Like they just want to work with you. And then depending on the situation, whether it's paid for, whether it's free, at the beginning I'll suggest you do free stuff. Just to show what you can do. You know, you show what you can do. And then after the free stuff, then probably you can start charging. So if someone comes up and then they find something that you're selling, whether it's like $10 or whatever, 50, 100, they've already seen your track record. So someone's like, hey yo, damn, if this was the free stuff, like, whoa, I can only imagine like what is in the paid stuff. You know. So yeah, and then now along that journey you learn and meet new people, and now start getting other ideas on how you can
build further. Okay. So, what would you say? Because you spoke of limits, you're
Yeah.
like, you need to know your limits.
Mm-hmm.
What are your limits? Do you have limits? Like, what at what point do you say, okay, now this is where I'm at, and
Yeah.
pause.
Okay. For me, it's a bit different.
Mm.
I don't necessarily look at the limits like that. I don't even think about that.
Mm.
The only reason I brought it up is because I wouldn't want to put someone in like a situation based on maybe what I've said.
It's a major static say
The main
deeds.
said was like, hey,
That'll be
yo,
wild.
yo, bruh. Hey, passing out there, bro. You're dehydrated as fuck. But
That'll
for
be
me,
crazy.
like, I just know myself. Like, I feel like you really have to understand yourself and be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like you would know, like, I can't go past this if you're honest with yourself. But you can also be honest with yourself and tell you that I don't think this is the limit.
Yeah. I think I can go further.
Yeah, I can go a little bit further than this. I can get the job done. So for me, it's just a point of understanding myself.
Mm.
Like, even like as I was telling you, on 2 days ago, I was working in the studio. I worked the whole day, right? And then at night, I met up with these guys. We went to their studio. We worked all night until 5 a.m.
And then you came back this side.
And I came back this side. I slept for like 3-4 hours, three and a half hours. Then I woke up and I went to the farm. I worked at the farm until 6, no, like 5.
That's in the evening now.
The evening. I came back. I had to work.
Uh,
I worked until like around 12. That's when I started getting tired.
now you're like, it's time to.
Yeah, like I was like, you know what? I can continue the next day. And yeah, but if I had to go on,
You would push still.
I
get
would
that.
still push. But then I'm kind of like in that position where I don't feel like if I don't feel like I need to do it, then I don't do it.
Yeah.
You know. But then prior, I wasn't necessarily in that situation. I didn't have that freedom to do that.
Yeah.
You know. But now I kind of have some freedom. I can slack a bit. You know, it's kind of allowed.
Yeah,
But
because you've put yourself in that situation now.
Yeah,
like
I'm
you've
like-
managed to get there
Yeah.
to that point.
Of course, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but
You're somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that you brought up the farm because I was unsure about. I don't like putting people's business out there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you put it there because we're going to talk about it at some point in the podcast. But first,
Okay.
I would like us to talk about. We've spoken about how music producers, like mostly when you're still starting, building a brand, you cannot afford to rely on music production to give you bread, to feed you, right? Why is that? From your own personal experience.
I think you can rely on it.
Okay.
But then I feel like you either don't know what you're doing, you have some crazy expectations that maybe you see, and then when you enter the situation, then you're not necessarily equipped with the business side as well. You don't know how the money is being made, right? You just know how to produce, but you really don't know. So you're just stuck in some constant loop of not knowing what you're doing, but you just like the music, so you just keep going. And then maybe eventually after some time you meet certain people that help you through it, and then you might figure it out or not. So you can actually there's a lot of money that you can make through music production, but you just need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, share with us.
You need the right information.
Yeah. Give us like you don't need to give us like the whole, like everything.
Yep.
But like for someone who's watching, like just drop a few maybe tips that someone can just feed off of. Someone who's really interested can go and type in something and figure out what you're saying. What avenues are these?
Well, okay, I'll just say it from my point of view, like what I'm doing, and if you want to replicate it, you can go ahead. So like for me, I make my income, and I have certain revenue streams, right? As a music producer. So I do sound design. So I create sounds and I sell them, right? So that's pretty much like a digital product. I make templates. I sell them as well.
Digital product as well.
Digital product. I sell presets. That's a digital product as well. Beats. Digital product as well. Even training, right? Consultations. guiding someone through, maybe they want from point A to point B, and they feel like you're the right guy to take them there, it's paid for as well. You know, there's free advice and there's paid advice.
Yeah.
What else? You could do merch as well, but it's all like that's why at the beginning, that's why I was saying like YouTube, because I feel like all these things lead you up to that point to put you in a position to do that,
To ask people to invest in you like that. Yeah.
because like, let's say for example, like what I've just said, like merch, right? Nobody knows you. You've just started a YouTube channel, you got like 100 subs, and then you're like, boom, like, yo, I'm selling merch. Nobody's gonna buy that shit.
From personal experience, I can even say.
Yeah,
No cap.
no one will buy it. But then now, when you've grown your brand and people are fucking with you like on a different level, you know, and you've probably got like tags that people like.
Yeah.
Like maybe you like saying "come on" like on your
You can put that on like a shirt with
put that
hat
on
or
your
something.
shirt. You guys fuck with the drip, you know.
Yeah.
But then that just doesn't come. It's like it's a gradual process. So what else? Yeah, pretty much that's like all my revenue streams in regards to music production. And I know certain guys will like maybe like hear it and be like, just that. Like I've noticed there's a very big problem with guys. Like let's say for example, you might be struggling as a music producer, right, or an engineer or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not making money, like a steady income. Maybe you get like $50, $100 here and there, but it's not constant, right? And then someone comes up and tells you like, hey yo, if you just do this, this and that, you probably heard it before even, but then you haven't taken the action, like to actually do it. You know, you just belittle it and just be like, just that. I've thought of that before, but just that. But that's where the source is. You know, everything is, you need to start with the fundamentals, and then now you build off that. You know, it's like juggling a ball. You can't just start doing like around the world, like throwing that thing on your back of your head. You need to start with the basics, you know, just juggling it nice and easy.
2 feet. That's
2 feet,
it.
like boom, boom, boom. After you're done with that, then now you can start incorporating some skills.
Yeah.
You know, that's now the secret sauce. You know, it's now like instinct. But then now guys just want to start with the secret sauce.
Because it looks nice. Like they just want to replicate what the big dogs are doing.
Yeah, like you know what? I want to do that trick. I wanna score like Ronaldo, but you haven't put in the work. You know, that's when I go back to YouTube, because it kind of forces you, if you're serious, to put in that necessary work. And it's in everything as well. I don't think it's only like strictly on like music production or whatever. I honestly feel like it's in everything.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, because I mean, like the camera is on you, you know, the public eye is on you. You have to perform, and you're looking at the results yourself. And then if you really don't like what you're seeing, then you gotta improve
or accept it. That's not an option though. Like from the way even that's just like getting to know you as a person.
Yep.
I would say like that's not even an option on the table. It's like we improve it. You know what I mean?
It's a must.
Yeah.
That's where we're going. We gotta get there. If we don't know how to get there, we ask. You know, either figure it out or just ask someone, or just observe. You know, like I've told like there's some dude, a producer friend of mine. He was struggling on YouTube. I'm like, bruh, the easiest way to get from point A to point B is just study other people. Study the person that when you look at the shit, you fuck with it. You know, you look at their production, you like the production, right? So if that's your goal and that's what you want to sound like, just study them. Just look at how they move. You know, what do they do on a daily basis?
Yeah.
What do they post? You know, what do they say? You know, what do they use? You know, and then now from there, it takes you a step closer, and just replicate it. And then someone be like, hey, oh, but then, hey, no, I don't want to copy. Hey, what not. I want to be original.
I don't know why we're switching the voices. But go ahead.
It doesn't make any sense, bro. There's nothing new. I feel like after you do the so-called copying, the replicating, now you'll be in a position be like, oh, okay, this is what people are doing. This is what works. And then now you can bridge out like from that. because you're bridging out from a foundation that is like solid. But then now, the other way, you'd probably still get there, but then you get there after some interesting time.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're someone who really values time, you're always trying to find a way to shorten that time period.
Yeah.
To get to your
End
to
goal.
get to your end goal. As long as it's not maybe killing your values and everything that you hold dear, you know. But I feel like that's the easiest way. Just analyze what are they doing, and do the same thing. Yeah.
I like where this conversation has gone, mostly to do with income, right? We've spoken about ways to make money with music production, and right now I want us now to get into, because you mentioned the farm earlier, I want us now to get into now those alternative sources of income that you've built for yourself.
Yeah.
Now it's all up to you how much you would like to share with them, and I'm giving you the floor, man. Just tell us how you've been able to diversify your streams of revenue.
Well, it's not necessarily, because I started music production when I was in uni, right? Just hustling, trying to get some extra pocket money and all that type of stuff. So now after uni, right, now it's expected for you to get a job and all that type of stuff. Like, what are you doing with your life? And you know, most African parents don't take music production or artistry,
creativity in general,
like in a good light. So I sat down with my partner, and we came up, you know, with some ideas, and we narrowed it down, you know, to rabbit farming, and just the whole concept of rabbit husbandry and all that type of stuff. And it really intrigued me. And just also like on the health side and all that type of stuff, like the beef and the chicken, because like I don't know which year that was, because I feel like everything was kind of like aligned. There was some year, there was some red alert here in Nairobi, right, about what people are doing to meat, right, like injecting it and putting, I don't know,
chemicals,
like some wild chemicals, like that stuff, the embalming fluid. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's the shit for like dead,
bro,
dead people and dead,
like that's what they were putting like on the meat, and then which will bring about like other diseases and all those type of things
to prevent it from rotting.
Bruh.
Yo, I remember that story.
It's wild, man. And then I also just have a passion of having your own food, which is something I'm definitely looking into in the future, having like a mega farm with a variety of food, like everything, vegetables, meat, like you name it, everything organically produced. And so pretty much that's the driving factor around that business. But I can say, if you're already knees deep in music production, I would suggest you do a business that is closely related to the music production, right? Because the thing about business, it requires capital. It requires capital, time, you know, human labor and all that type of stuff. And at an early stage, you really don't have that much capital. Like where you get in the, unless like maybe you're like a child of some rich king or whatever, or like some really
Somewhere
rich family,
get that cash,
where they just give you like $100,000, like, yo,
go figure it out.
Yeah, go fuck it up. And then you fuck it up and you're like, hey, it's over.
There'll be more for you.
You're like, you know what, I think 100,000 wasn't enough, take $200,000.
Shit.
You know. But most people are not necessarily in that situation.
True, that's the 1%.
Yeah, so you really need to be careful on how you're spending your money, or how you're investing your money. So the smaller stuff that you're investing in, the better you are.
Okay.
So yeah,
joining, because I remember even like we've had this conversation about the time when I told you what I'm trying to do as well, in terms of like the digital stuff now with the cameras and the podcast, and also like with the music. Being an artist, I literally like practice that particular thought that you've just shared right now.
Yeah,
making sure that your businesses are kind of around the same thing, so that it's not like you're pulling from one business to invest in a totally separate business.
Yeah.
When you invest in one business, you've kind of invested in everything else. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So I really relate with that. Now, you're from okay, you've been doing music for a long time, right? You've been doing music since you were in since you came to university, basically.
Facts.
Now, what have you noticed as in common traits
Yep.
with artists
Mhm.
who fall off
Yep.
or give it up and artists who keep going?
Okay, the difference that I've personally seen is the different types of artists, right? There's some artists that really want to do it seriously, like they want to take it to the next level. They want to make their music global. They want to make an impact with their music, like it's on a deeper level. There's that guy, and then there's another guy who's doing it for fun, right? And they know they're doing it for fun. And then there's another guy who's doing it for fun, but they don't know that they're doing it for fun.
So one guy knows, another one doesn't.
Another one doesn't. And there's some other guys that come in with the expectation, like overhyped expectations. Like, I'll just record this song. When we release it, it's a banger.
That's it.
And I'm famous, just like that. When the reality on the ground is totally different. It's furthest from the truth. So now those are the different type of artists. So now what usually happens is these other two guys, they really don't look at, they're not necessarily studying and working on ways to understand the business side, the music side, right? And all that type of stuff, because you need to learn. You just don't know everything, like, off the bat.
Can't. Yeah.
Guys study for this shit. Like, they ask questions, they sit down with people maybe that have already been doing it, and then now from there you can get better information and all that type of stuff. So now what usually happens, like, let's say for example you're an artist, right? Not Mr., but some random
someone different.
some random artist. You come to me, oh, Major Static, hey, what, no, blah blah, I want to make a track, this is my idea, blah blah, all that type of stuff. Like, cool. And then you've come with a beat. You probably downloaded it on YouTube, some free beat. Or some guys don't even download free beats. They just download it. It's got tags, like at the beginning. It's got a tag in the middle.
But they just write to it.
They just write to it.
Yeah,
This is hard. Because the
I
other
relate,
producer
though.
on the other end is trying to sell it as well. So even the way you've taken the beat, it's kind of already been maxed out. Because that was not the one you would get if you paid for it.
Yeah.
So now we record the song, and you get the song, you're fucking with it. What do you do next? You share it with your friends on WhatsApp. Hey, yo, bro, listen to my song. You send on WhatsApp. You're like, hey, it's fire, fire.
Your friends are just gassing you.
Just
It might be
gassing.
genuine, but then still, it's like
It's just straight fire, because they can't say something fucked up to you. It's only a few real ones. They'll be like, bro,
it's like
this track is ass, bro. I don't know what you were doing in the studio, but most people will just be like, it's fire, bro, it's fire.
because they want to end the conversation right there.
And then it's fire.
Yeah.
Because as a small artist, you really don't have crazy cash.
Yeah.
So you just take the song, probably put it in some free video editor, and just take a random picture of YouTube and just write your name, and you upload it.
Boom.
And maybe if you're really that type of guy that goes the extra mile, you post it on DistroKid or some shit, and then it goes on Spotify and all those on them streaming
The
platforms.
DSPs even allow it because
Yeah.
you don't own it.
So now you've already done all this. To you, that's the end. You've done what you needed to do. The track is out. It's on YouTube. It's on the streaming platforms. Maybe when someone asks you, like, where's your song? You're like, hey, yo, bro,
Spotify.
it's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. You
Oh.
know?
That's a flex.
Yeah, it's a flex. And then now, that's it. So in a month max, your song is died. And then you come back to the studio and you're like, yo, let's record another one. So psychologically, it takes a toll on you, whether you accept it or not. So eventually, subconsciously, you know that you've been coming to the studio, You record the song, you upload it, and then you just get 20, 30 views, and that's the end of it.
Nothing happens.
And then you just keep doing that over and over again. Then now you're like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, music is not for me. You know, and then maybe also you don't have a steady income, and then you're seeing yourself just going to put money in the studio just to get these tracks that are not giving you back some cash. And maybe some of your friends, they've got a job, maybe they're hustling here and there, and they're getting some cash. So now also you start kind of feeling weak.
Yeah.
You check out. So
naturally.
So eventually you just be like, fuck music.
It wasn't for me.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
So now there are those guys. But then now there's some other guys now, even in that stream, because I guess now naturally, like for me, I can't do something 3 times and it's not working. The first time I do it and I fail, I'll be like, maybe I just didn't know. Like maybe there's some extra information I need to find out. And I'll do it again. But the second time I've done it again and I've still failed. The third time, I have to like sit back, look for help, do some research to find out exactly what is it.
Like where am I failing?
Yeah, why? Because there are people that are making money, you know? And I honestly feel like there's money in everything. Even if you're just a music engineer, a beat guy, you know, even the guy that just scouts talent.
Yeah.
You know, because there are people out there that have those jobs that are making money, like some serious money, like probably you didn't even believe, like, just that you're making money. But they're making money. And now the question is, how are they doing it? You know, because you're doing the same thing, you know, quote unquote, but you're not getting...
You're not making anything.
You're not making anything. So that's the question that you need to really ask yourself. And then now I feel like after you answer those questions, that's the only way now you get to like your end goal, to like your destination. That, you know.
Hey, it's wild, bro. Because literally what you're saying, I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One thing that I've noticed about producers, many of them, many that I've met, you find focus on one genre, right? You find a producer who loves making trap, and that's all they stick to, right? Someone loves making the old school hip hop beats, they stick to that. R&B, stick to that.
Yep.
But that's not you, right? You have worked with and produced different kinds of genres, different kinds of artists.
Yeah.
How does that happen for you? How did it come to be?
I feel like it's all just a choice in regards to, because you're doing everything because of you. You know, it's from a personal aspect. So if someone decides that they want to do trap music and that's the only thing that they want to do, it's fine, because that's what they want to do on a personal level. And you can do that and be successful at it as well. I even feel like this other way, where you're doing many things, will take you longer.
It stands in the way because you don't specialize, huh?
Yeah, because like you're focused on so many things and you only have a limited number of hours. So for me, it's more of like what I want to do. Like I don't have a particular genre that I like. I just like sound in general. Could be some guy in the village just jamming on the guitar.
And you like this?
I'm just like, hey, I'm like, hey, bro, that's vibes, man. What the fuck is this guy on? You know?
Yeah.
Like I fuck with that shit. So I just, even when I hear like those Indian flutes, those guys are doing like some flutes, I'm like, yeah, that's a vibe. Because for me, it hits me like on a deeper level. You know, I feel like music is kind of spiritual in a way as well. So I don't like to limit myself to like the genres.
Yeah.
I just create. You know, there's sometimes I just even make whatever comes to my head. And it's not even necessarily like music. Like you probably can't even put it in a genre. I'll just vibing,
just make sound. You're like, this doesn't fall anywhere.
Like I don't even know what the hell this is, you know. But I just make it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fire though. I feel like I wasn't sure, but then was there no financial motivation behind it? Like, let's say, you know, the fact that you create a lot of genres. Of course, it takes a long time. But you have more doors open to you. You're not just working with trap artists, and even though like that also has its avenue, right? But then, was there any kind of financial incentive?
No, me from the get go, it's finances, because I feel like in my analysis, right, I'm not saying it's correct or anything, but
It's
just for
what
me,
it is for you.
right,
Yeah.
I'm looking for freedom, right? If I had it my way, I'll just be creating music without any
Selling
conversation
it and-
about money and all that type of stuff. But we're currently in a system that requires money, right, for you to operate and do pretty much anything. So I would rather make the money doing something that I'm enjoying, because I won't feel it as much. Like, you see that story I was telling you where I had a headache, I had like my eyes were getting blurry and all that type of shit. The only reason I could push through is because I was enjoying what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it. But if I wasn't enjoying it, maybe I'd have still done it, depending on the type of motivating factor in that type of scenario.
Yeah.
But it would be harder for me to push myself.
It would be more pain than anything else. Like, it's a painful
But then
process.
now, of course, I'm pushing myself. I'm paying, but I like it. You know, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Like, I don't want to give up on the idea. Like, I just want to keep going. You know. So, yeah. But of course, the financial side, definitely it's there. You know, because I gotta eat.
Yeah.
You know, without the finances, I can't keep showing up.
You can keep the lights on.
Yeah, so I have to do it, and I really fuck with everybody that supports me, that buys my kits.
Yeah.
You know, that buys my templates, everything, my consultation, and all that type of stuff, because that's what keeps the dream going. And also on my side, when I see other people on the same grind, I like buying other people's shit, even if I don't need it.
Yeah.
Like, just because I understand, I'm like, hey, yo, bro, this guy's hustling, man. And I have to motivate this guy. I have to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. What's the weirdest genre you've encountered? You're like, okay, no judgment, but this shit is like weird to me. Like, it's outlandish to me.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird, like, in what aspect?
Like, just strange, like, because you have certain genres, like, for example, hip hop, R&B. Those are things you see every day.
Okay, maybe what's that? Like, I kind of find dubstep a bit weird. Like, it's got a weird bounce, and the sounds. Even if you just see like the dubstep producers or DJs, you just look at them, like, when the drops are coming, they even like doing like some movements and all that type of stuff. It's quite, it's got a weird bounce, because I'm used to I think the African bounce in a way, you know, like the drums and probably like maybe hip hop, like just bopping your head. That's my bounce. But I can do the dubstep bounce as well, because I've listened to it. I've seen these guys do their thing, and I can put myself in that state as well, where it probably wouldn't be as professional, because I don't do it on a regular like that, but I can put myself in that state where I can create the bounce, and they'll probably fuck with it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at that level now, bro. You're at that level, bro. Okay. So, as a music producer, right? You started out with a certain mindset around money, right? A certain mindset. What has changed between the time you started and right now? What was your mindset around money when you started, and what's different about it today?
When I was getting into it, I was like, I have to work really hard, right, to get money, and I have to continue working hard. Like, let's say, for example, like, how much? Like, let's say I have to work hard to get $300 in a month, right? And then I was like, when I get that $300 a month, I'm gonna work harder, right, so that I can get 500. When I get the 500, I work harder, so that I'll get 1,000. You know, that was my perspective. But then now, after being in the situation and whatever, I feel like now you have to make the money work for you, right? You still need to work. I'm not saying you don't have to work. You have to work hard still. And I guess working hard is relative for each individual, right? Like, my thought process when working hard right now has kind of changed. Yeah. Right? I'm not slaving per se, like the way I used to slave. So it's working hard plus making the money work for you. And then ultimately, I guess now just have the money just working for you so that you can do whatever it is you want to do.
Expound on making the money work for you.
Okay, making the money work for you is like for me, I want to get like other producers, right? Producers, some artists, video guys, right? So that now, because YouTube is generating income,
Yeah.
and now with the digital products, it's pretty much passive because you've already put it out, and you'll never have to do the same thing again, and it will still make you money. Like I still receive income till today from stuff that I did, like at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in January, and I'm like, hey, yo,
That's
I'm
that
still
passive income.
yeah, like I'm still like I already put in the work, and I'm still being rewarded for that work till today. You know, then now you can use that income to make it work for you in whatever aspect. Like maybe the other producers are telling you about, put up a studio and make them create the content, and then now from them creating the content, now start generating more income in like another light, and you're really not doing that much, working as hard like as maybe you were working before.
That's slaving we spoke of.
Yeah, that's slaving. Like, yeah.
Okay.
And maybe some people might not look at it as slaving, but to me that's what it kind of felt like. When I was entering it, I didn't feel like I was slaving. Even as I was getting the blurry eyes, I wasn't thinking I was slaving.
Like just working, just putting in the grind.
But now I guess maybe after the money, when I look back, I'm like, my perspective is a bit different.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I kind of look at it, especially because I had no choice. Because
you didn't have the luxury to think the way you're thinking right now.
Yeah, because there was no money like to that extent coming in. But then now I'm able to do that because I guess there's some money coming in, and then it's given me the freedom per se to do other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Being a Malawian, right?
Yeah.
Flag is up there. Being a Malawian,
It is. M-Dub representing.
That has came to Kenya to study, and now managed to find a pocket for themselves.
Yeah.
What would you say you found different in terms of like music in general and business? Right now we're talking like music business as well.
Yeah.
That is either not at home or not easily accessible at home, that is accessible here. And also if there's something that also crosses over that you find is at home but that is not here, I'd like you to share something about that.
There's a lot. Like if you look at Malawi, Malawi is a landlocked country. So you don't really get a lot of stuff like at a cheap price. Like if you're getting, like, let's say for example, equipment, like when I was back home and someone has nice equipment, it was either they had a relative in the UK or a brother in the US, and then they brought them back some equipment which wasn't even all that, but then because there's nothing like it in the place,
it seems like all that.
Yeah, it was like, what? Like,
Yeah.
So like now coming bridging off to like here where things are readily available. There's a port and importing companies, like so many, and it kind of broadens your mind. So even like that was actually one of my streams of income. Like what I used to do is, because I've been in Malawi and I know like there's some things missing. Like it's difficult to get equipment, like good equipment in Malawi. So when I come
here, you
here,
have to pay big bucks. If you
or you really have to know someone. So I used to buy equipment here, right? I literally use up all my pocket money and all the cash that I've been saving up. I'd buy the equipment, right? Some mics, mixer, some speakers.
Boom.
Right? I pack them up and I go home. Before I go home, I'd post the stuff online, because like now in Malawi, you see like how here in Kenya you have like GG, like when you want to buy some stuff. So like in Malawi we have these Facebook pages, like they're commonly known, that people post stuff and equipment, or maybe if you have some service that you're offering, people post it in these Facebook groups. So I'd post it in the groups, right? Even before I buy the equipment,
Yeah.
I'd post the stuff.
That I'm getting this, or you
No,
already
I'll be like, I
the-
have it.
yeah,
Like, this is what
of
I'm
course,
selling.
Of course.
You know,
Uh.
I'll be like, this is what I'm selling, blah blah.
Mm.
And guys would reach out to me like, yeah, I want this, I want this. Then now another person, hey, I want this, and I'm like, oh, there's a demand for this. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then now when people tell me, I'll be like, let's, right now I'm in this place, I'm coming, I'll deliver it on such day, let's meet on this day, you come check out the equipment, it's brand new.
Mm.
And I literally already have a market for it, so I just go home. As soon as I get home, in literally a week, I'd sell everything.
Mm.
Everything. Because
What was the turnover like? Of course, hold on to that. Hold on to what you're going to say. I just want to hear that.
it was good turnover. I can't look like I was ripping niggas off,
It's okay. It's not ripping if they agree to pay you. That's my
business.
motto usually. If they agree to pay you, haven't stolen it.
I made some good cash.
Uh.
Yeah, and then I kept doing that like from my first year till I graduated. That's what I was doing.
Uganda, watch out. Uganda, watch out. Let's go.
To the point I was like, yo, like I'm telling you, man, that side there's like some crazy untapped market because of availability. Like there's so much stuff that you can do that side. Even if you set up like a music store,
You can make money.
yeah, you'll make money. Just make sure you have like a wide base of stuff, like the cheap stuff, the affordable, and the
there's
high
that
end
premium
shit
Yeah.
that like someone maybe elsewhere looks at you like, hey, shit, you got some legit equipment. Yeah, you'd make cash, bro.
Okay. What's the importance of what role has networking played in your life as a producer? Because right now we've been just been talking about how you just bounce to someone else's studio to talk to people, and that's something that I've noticed with you. It's not even a new thing. It's like from time that I've known you, you've always been about meeting people. You've always been able to like shake hands, and it's like you're never too full of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
So
like,
what has it done for you?
I feel like it's just that aspect of putting yourself out there. You might be like the dopest producer,
Yeah.
right? And even from the beginning, I wasn't even on YouTube. So for me, that was like, I'm trying to put myself out there, and meet other people, probably even other guys that are better than me, and then like you can learn from each other. You might have like some really cool skill that I don't possess, and I might have something that you don't. So like we can sharpen each other, you know? And so, yeah, just putting yourself out there, and just getting better.
Yeah.
But, and also with time, I guess the more that you're interacting with everybody, all these producers, you get to understand what's going on. You know how much people are charging for their sessions as well. You can see the equipment that they have, then you're like, oh,
I'm missing that.
so maybe, let's say for example, for this standardized equipment and this type of skill level, this is the amount of money that they're charging. And then you kind of see it in different areas, like so you can tell there's like a pattern. And also like maybe the really good studios, maybe the guy's skill is like really high, and then he has good equipment as well. And now this is the amount of money that he's charging, and how these guys are coming up with these prices, because it's not like it's written like, hey, yo, you should charge this amount of money. Like, how do you even know that? Like, how much money should I charge for a beat? How much money should I charge for a session? Right? Am I charging too much? Am I charging too little?
Yeah.
So I guess that aspect also helps, because you're meeting like a wide variety of people with different mindsets, with different approaches when it comes to music. There's some guys that just enter and just start creating, just randomly, just like, and that's the vibes.
Yeah. And it works sometimes.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Some guys, you need the beat, and then they go home, they write, practice for a month, and then they come and record. Some other people just freestyle. Yeah, just go on the mic and just freestyle.
Oh.
So you kind of learn like different processes and workflows. So yeah.
Okay. This has been dope. While we like wind this down, I would like to end on like a question about two things.
Yep.
One, this one I want education. Or there are two things I'm going to ask you about: education. I'm going to ask you about your playlist as well. So education wise,
Yep.
I know you're a person who loves to study. Like, you love information, you love getting information.
Yep.
Lately, whom would you recommend people that are watching go and listen to, go and tap into
Yep.
for knowledge in general? It doesn't have to be music production. It can be music production, but
Mhm.
then just generally, whom would you give them to go and listen to?
When it comes to music production,
Yeah.
I would probably say Jason Joshua.
Okay.
That guy's fire, and he gives out as well. Because there was even I was watching some item when they were explaining how, like certain producers, right, like maybe gain some certain knowledge. There's some stuff someone needs to tell you, or it'll take you like a really long time, like to finally get it. So now, what they were doing is, like, let's say when a great engineer, right, is in the studio, they're busy, they're doing the stuff, they're working on a record with like a high-end artist. Like they'll be like in the background, just sitting, like not even talking, not saying shit, just watching, right? And then now from there, the engineer maybe feels some type of way and shows you something, like some secret source skill, like, hey, just do this, and then
Boom.
So now I feel like even that's when it comes to terms like the power of the internet. Like, you're able to reach out to these guys, you're able to see them online on Instagram. Like, guys share like a lot. Like, if you're really studying someone, like, you see like what exactly is being done. They share the secret source, they share their thought process, because that's where the source is. Like, let's say for example, we were working on that song, right? Of course it's not out yet.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the title.
Yes, sir.
You don't need to hold your breath. But yeah, you see, when it came to that track, it sounds nice and it's catchy, and there was a method to the madness, right? So now that method, don't you feel like you can teach it to someone else?
Yeah.
Maybe
Literally.
for example, someone's like, hey, yo, I'm failing to come up with catchy songs. Like, your songs are always catchy. Like, how do you do it? And then someone else would probably tell you like, hey, no, just work hard, just practice.
Yeah.
Just
wake up every day and do this.
Which is not like some false information, but there's a method that that if you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then the creativity, not like even removing the creativity side, there's still creativity, right? It's like building a house, like, which is what I don't understand with like most artists or some engineers. Like, I can tell you, like, maybe let me give the analogy first. Like, to build the house, you need a strong foundation, and this is how you make a strong foundation. And then now after that, you put your creative aspect to it, and all that type of stuff. And then now someone should come and tell you, be like, hey, no, I don't want to build the foundation like that. I want to be creative, and this is a proven method.
But he wants to go by his own way.
Yeah, I guess, which is not wrong. It's fine. But I mean, if you're not successful at what you're doing, then you probably need to listen to the guy who's telling you like, yo, this is what you need to do. And I know where you're at, and you're just acting stubborn for no reason. After you know how to build the foundation, then now you can, or even baking a cake. This is how we bake a cake.
Yeah.
After you've perfected how to bake the cake, now you can be like, okay, fine, let me throw on some cream. Let me add on this creative whatever.
Experiment a little bit. Yeah.
When someone tastes it, they will enjoy it. But then now you're creating your own funny things from the beginning.
No fundamentals.
Nothing, bro. And then now you expect it to be on the same international standards that people are listening to. It's very difficult. Maybe it's possible, but it would probably take you a really long time to get it. And if you don't mind, if that's how you want to be, like, if that's how you want your journey to be, I guess you can go ahead.
Yeah.
But then if you want to get shit done, there's a method.
Like, success leaves clues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jason Joshua?
Yeah, I fuck with Jason Joshua, Dave Pensado, Chris Lord RG.
These are all production.
Yeah, this is all production.
Okay.
But even apart from production, like, what I've noticed, everything is entwined. if you're successful at production and kind of living a good life as well, that means in the other aspects you should be good as well. Maybe not on some extreme levels, but you're good. So if you just study them, they people talk about everything. People talk about life, about production, because everything is intertwined. Like it would be difficult to create if I'm in a particular state of mind. Maybe let's say, for example, if I'm sad, like I'm really sad, maybe I'm that type of guy who can't work like that.
Yeah.
But then maybe there's another person who can channel that sadness and actually work with it and still create something really nice. So
that's even where they get their greatness. Like that's when they put out their greatest content.
Yeah, because it's emotional. Yeah. But yeah, those are the only guys that I personally study. I like the sound. I would even say, okay, fine. Even if I feel like it's even good to find your own person as compared to like maybe saying like I like the way Jason Joshua mixes. And then I'm telling you as a music producer, go study that guy as well. There's nothing wrong with that. But what would be good is if maybe you find your own person, right, that you actually enjoy, like the work and all that type of stuff. Like even if you just listen to your favorite record, like you listen to it and you're like, hey, yo, this song is nice. Whoever mixed this song, I want my sound to be sounding like that. Then just research, just go online, go on Google, who mixed this song. You find the person who mixed it.
When you start to follow
like
the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, just right there. Like, this is the guy that mixed it. Just study that guy now.
Probably has somewhere he also puts out his information. It's like some knowledge.
Bruh, everything is out there already, bro. There's no secret out here. The information is there. There's no information that is hidden. You just need to know where to look.
Nothing new under the sun. That's like your favorite say.
I'm telling you, bro, everything is there.
Okay. Now, the next question is your playlist. What's on your playlist?
Funny enough, I don't have a playlist, bro.
Yeah?
Let me tell you what I do. Remember I told you, like, I don't have, like, a particular genre that I listen to, right? So, I listen to everything, like, literally. It just depends to how I'm feeling in that particular moment in time. So, what I usually do is that day I just wake up feeling like some Afro vibes. I just go on YouTube and just look at the playlist that on YouTube for Afro. Then I vibe with them.
Love Montiti,
Yeah. That's the vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but I actually don't have my own playlist. That's fine.
So on your phone, you don't have any music that you have there?
I don't have any music on my phone.
Oh, shit.
It's crazy.
I mean, like, this is something you do as, like, YouTube.
Yeah.
But it
Always
makes
on the
sense.
grind.
Like, it makes sense. What works for you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's been a pleasure hosting you.
Yeah, thanks for pulling through.
As usual.
It's a pleasure being on your platform as well. You're doing some dope shit.
Appreciate it.
Keep up the good content. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel.
One time. Subscribe. Just even one note. I just want you to leave, like, if you have a message for someone that's just starting out, someone that's doubting themselves.
Yeah.
You know, we all go through that, right? It's nothing new, but what's your stamp? What message would you love to leave for someone that's in that position?
It's just a question, you know, how hard do you want it? You know, how much do you want it? Because, like, most of the guys, like, let's say, for example, you're in a state of poverty. Let's even, like, leave alone even, like, production. Like, just in life in general. Like, let's say you're really broke, right? And you're telling me that you don't want to be in that broke state anymore. And then you're given the roadmap to come out of brokenness, right? And you're not doing the work, you know? So it kind of means that you really don't want to leave the poverty on a deeper level. You might be saying, oh, fuck, I don't want to be broke anymore. But then your actions are saying that you actually like that broke state.
Yeah, you're comfortable.
Yeah. So it's just, how hard do you want it? If you want it hard enough, trust me, you're gonna go for it. You find the right people, you know,
take the right actions.
Yeah. And just do it. Even if it doesn't take a year, do it for 2 years. It will definitely work out
At some point.
Yeah, it will come through no matter what.
Okay.
Even though it might not look like it at the beginning, but
Yeah, it never does though. It
Yeah.
never does. Everyone starts from ground zero.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, as usual, as you can tell, this is someone I talk to often. Like this is this is just like another conversation that we have. It's always a blessing having him just, in conversation. Right now it's just recorded. You guys have got a snippet of what life is like working with a producer and yeah, working together with Major Static. That's what it's like. And another thing I would like to add, if you didn't catch his details at the beginning, his Instagram is Andrew Moyo1 or Static Records. I'm going to put them somewhere on the screen. On YouTube, Static Records. As a producer, you're really just you're fumbling the bag if you're not following that channel. Like I'm telling you straight.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm learning too, and I was there actually this morning. I checked out. I saw a video on how to mix low end, how to mix low ends. I was like, I have to come back to this. Like, how did I miss this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for someone who's learning, who's probably going through a journey that you're probably going through, give it a chance. Give it a chance. If it's trash, come back and say it in the comments, okay?
Yeah, and we can grow from it, you know. I don't know everything.
But he knows a lot. Yo, we're done. Cut. Deuces.